Imagine, if you will, that the fortune you seek is already yours, not tomorrow, not in some distant season when circumstances finally become kind, not after struggle has exhausted you and the world has decided to reward your patience. No, right now, in this very instant, you are the one who has received. You are the one who has crossed the threshold. You are the millionaire you have always desired to become. Do not see yourself as a beggar at the door of wealth, pleading for entrance. See yourself as the one who already occupies the mansion. See yourself as one who already lives within the awareness of abundance, ease, freedom, and power. This is the secret. This is the divine principle. This is the living formula. To dwell inwardly in the state of the wish fulfilled until that inner conviction becomes the law of your outer life. The world has taught many falsehoods about money. It has told you that wealth is difficult, rare, reserved for the favored few, and purchased only through endless struggle. It has suggested that prosperity must be wrestled from life, fought for, or painfully earned through sacrifice. But all of this belongs to the outer world of appearances, and appearances are shadows. They are effects, not causes. They are reflections, not creators. As I have said, the outer world is but a mirror. It has no power of its own. It can only reveal the image impressed upon it from within. Therefore, if you wish to change your life, do not begin by trying to rearrange the mirror. Begin with the image before it is reflected. Begin with your inner assumption. Begin with the consciousness you choose to inhabit. To manifest $1 million, you must first possess it in imagination. Not as a fantasy, not as a distant hope, not as an anxious wish, but as a present fact within the depths of your own awareness. The power to create is never in the object desired. It is in the state assumed. The assumption is not a fragile dream. It is not a desperate plea. It is a quiet and absolute knowing that what you desire is already yours. Therefore, see yourself now as the millionaire, not as someone hoping to become one someday, but as one who already is. Imagine your life with such vividness that it becomes natural to you. Walk in the home that reflects your abundance. Hear the stillness of financial peace. Feel the weightlessness of debt disappearing, the relief of never needing to fear tomorrow, the joy of knowing you are more than enough. Let the atmosphere of wealth become familiar to your imagination. Do not say, "I want to be wealthy." Say, "I am wealthy." Do not say, "I hope money comes." Say, "Money is mine." For the universe does not respond to empty words. It responds to the state behind the words. It responds to the consciousness that speaks. If you dwell in the state of having, the world must eventually reflect having. If you dwell in the state of lack, the world must mirror lack. There is no mystery here, only law. The subconscious mind accepts what is impressed upon it with feeling. It does not reason as man reasons. It does not argue. It does not object. It simply receives the dominant impression and moves to embody it. Therefore, if you persist in the feeling that your $1 million is already yours, your inner mind will begin arranging the outer conditions to match that conviction. It will gather the necessary circumstances, inspire the right encounters, and open doors you could never have forced open by effort alone. Now imagine that you are writing a check. Not a check for a hope, not a check for a dream, a check signed by certainty. A check written from the awareness that the thing is already accomplished. Feel the pen in your hand. See the amount written clearly. Sense the calm confidence with which you make the gesture. This act, if done inwardly with conviction, becomes an imprint upon the subconscious. It awakens the creative power within you. But remember this above all: thought alone is not enough. Thought without feeling is lifeless. It is a shell without breath. Feeling is the fire that gives life to the image. Feeling is the language of the subconscious. Feeling is what sinks deeply into the unseen root of your being and commands it to bear fruit. So when you imagine wealth, do not merely observe it mentally. Feel it. Feel the relief, feel the joy, feel the gratitude, feel the security. Feel the pride of becoming the one who has already received. Let the feeling saturate your entire being. Let it move through your chest, your breath, your posture, your voice, your silence. Let it color the very atmosphere around you. This is what it means to live from the end. Many fail in this sacred work because they do not persist. They imagine once, perhaps twice, and then they return to the old story. They let doubt reclaim their attention. They let visible facts persuade them that imagination is powerless. But the law requires persistence. A seed does not become a tree in a moment. It must remain buried before it can blossom. So too must the imaginal act be repeated until it becomes your dominant state. Sleep in that feeling. Each night, before you go to sleep, enter the stillness and behold yourself as the millionaire you have accepted yourself to be. Let the last scene of your waking day be the first scene of your inner kingdom. Carry that image into sleep as though it were the most natural thing in the world. And when you awaken, do not rush to your old identity. Hold the feeling gently but firmly. Wear it throughout the day, like a robe of invisibility that only the inner world can see. Do not be troubled if your present circumstances have not yet changed. The visible world is slow to reveal what the invisible world has already accepted. The seed is hidden before the harvest appears. What you now call reality is only a delayed reflection of what has already been planted within. Therefore, be patient. Not passive, but faithful. Faithful to the unseen, faithful to the assumption, faithful to the state that you have chosen. And let it be known, wealth is not merely money in a bank account. Wealth is a state of consciousness. A millionaire is not simply one who possesses large sums. A millionaire is one who inwardly lives from abundance, certainty, freedom, and worthiness. Such a person naturally thinks from fullness rather than lack. He or she no longer begs life for permission. He or she moves through the world with inner assurance, and the outer world rearranges itself in response. If you think like poverty, speak like poverty, and expect like poverty, then poverty will answer you. But if you change your inner narrative, you change your destiny. Examine the assumptions you have accepted about money. Have you believed that wealth is unsafe, that it corrupts, that it belongs to others and not to you, that you must struggle to deserve it? These are inherited lies, and the subconscious, having accepted them, has faithfully reproduced them in your experience. Now you must revise them. Consciously, deliberately, lovingly, begin to tell yourself a new story, write new assumptions, declare new truths. Say, I am worthy of abundance. Say, money flows to me easily. Say, I am supported by life. Say, wealth is natural to me. Repeat these until they no longer sound like words and begin to feel like identity. For the words you dwell upon become the dwelling place of your mind. Here, then, is the millionaire formula in its simplest and highest form. Imagine with feeling that the $1,000,000 is already yours. Persist in that feeling until it becomes natural, and release the need to wrestle with appearances that deny it. This is not wishful thinking. This is conscious creation. This is the law of assumption. You are not hoping the universe will one day grant you wealth. You are recognizing wealth as already present in the invisible and allowing the visible to catch up. You may ask, when will it come? But the question itself is born from time, and time is not the ruler of consciousness. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you have entered the end. The end is not a future event. It is a state of being. Therefore, your concern is not when it will happen. Your concern is whether you can remain faithful to the state now. If you can, then the outer world must conform in its own time and order. Do not allow doubt to occupy the throne of your mind. Do not feed fear with your attention. Doubt is only a whisper from the old self, trying to preserve what is familiar. Fear is only a projection of an imagined future that has no substance in the present. The present moment is your point of power. Here, now you are free to choose the state you will inhabit. Here, now you can return to the feeling of already having. Here, now you can let the old identity fall away. Each night, practice the imaginal act. See a scene that implies your desire is already realized. Perhaps you see your account balance. Perhaps you sign a contract. Perhaps you sit in your dream home calm and secure. Perhaps you speak with the ease of one who knows that every need has been met. Keep the scene simple, but make it alive. Do not merely observe it as a spectator. Enter it, feel it, become it. Let the feeling carry you into sleep. And during the day, live in harmony with the assumption. Carry yourself as one who is already blessed. Speak with quiet confidence. Handle your affairs with dignity. Make choices from abundance rather than desperation. Do not beg from life. Receive from life. There is a great difference between action born of lack and action born of fulfillment. One struggles, the other flows. One reaches anxiously, the other moves in divine rhythm. Yes, action has its place. But it must be action inspired by the state, not action taken in panic. When you have assumed the end, the right action will arise naturally. You will know what to do. You will be guided toward the right person, the right opportunity, the right decision. You need not force the river. Once the channel is open, let it flow. Be alert, be receptive, be willing to move when moved. But do not chase the manifestation as though it were escaping you. It is not escaping, it is unfolding. Guard your imagination, it is sacred ground. Whatever you repeatedly feed, there will take root in your life. Therefore, fill it with abundance rather than lack, with success rather than defeat, with peace rather than anxiety. When negative thoughts arise, do not battle them with despair. Simply return to the scene of fulfillment, gently, firmly, faithfully. A gardener does not curse the weeds. He removes them and tends the soil. Do the same with your mind. Some call this magic, others call it faith. But it is neither fantasy nor superstition. It is law. Consciousness creates reality. The inner state births the outer condition. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the creative center from which circumstance springs. The external world is the effect. The inner world is the cause. Change the cause, and the effect must eventually change. To be a millionaire is first to know yourself as one. It is to move through life with inward certainty. It is to feel the richness of your being independent of appearances. It is to carry the wealth of consciousness before the wealth of currency ever appears. So begin now. Close your eyes. See yourself as the one you desire to be. Feel it as real. Sleep in it. Wake in it. Walk in it. Speak from it. Persist until it becomes your natural atmosphere. Your $1,000,000 will come because it must. The law is fixed. The law is impartial. The law cannot deny the assumption you continually occupy. When the inner conviction is sustained, the outer world has no choice but to obey. But the obedience is not to your words alone. It is to your state. As you continue, subtle changes will begin to appear. A conversation will open. A door will unlock. An opportunity will emerge where once there was none. What you call coincidence is often the visible trace of an invisible assumption finally taking form. Do not dismiss these signs. Receive them with gratitude. They are confirmations that the unseen is working. And if the path seems delayed, do not despair. Delay is not denial. Delay is often the unseen arranging itself with precision. Many things must move invisibly before they may appear visibly. Trust the hidden process. Trust the seed in the soil. Trust the pressure of growth beneath the surface. What is yours cannot be lost. It can only be revealed. Understand also that wealth is not accumulation alone. It is flow. When you embody millionaire consciousness, money moves toward you naturally because you have become aligned with its movement. You are no longer tense, fearful, or grasping. You are receptive. You are expansive. You are in tune with abundance. And abundance recognizes its own. This is why gratitude is so powerful. Be grateful not only for what is already seen, but for what is already yours in the unseen. Gratitude is the emotional proof of faith. It is the feeling that says, it is done. When you thank life in advance, you impress the subconscious with certainty. Gratitude expands the heart, softens resistance, and deepens the impression of the wish fulfilled. Do not stare at lack. Do not feed scarcity with your attention. Do not make a temple out of your current condition. It is not your master. It is merely the residue of a former assumption. Replace it with a greater image. The moment you dwell in abundance, you begin to invite abundance. The moment you dwell in richness, you become receptive to richness. The outer must mirror the inner, always. There is no fixed timeline for manifestation. The desire already exists in the invisible realm, complete and whole. Your task is to live as though it is already accomplished. Some things appear quickly, some unfold gradually, but the appearance is secondary. The inner agreement is primary. The only measure that matters is this: are you still living in the feeling of the fulfilled desire? If yes, then you are on the path. If not, return without judgment. Release the how. The how belongs to the intelligence that animates all things. Your subconscious knows no limitation. It can gather from the ends of the earth what is needed to fulfill the assumption. When you obsess over method, you interfere with the natural flow. Trust instead in the unseen orchestration. What you have felt as real will find its proper avenue into your life. Imagine the lifestyle as well as the money. See the freedom it grants you, the generosity it inspires, the peace it brings, the places you will go, the lives you will touch, the ease with which you will move through the world. Feel the security, feel the grace, feel the joy of not needing to worry about survival. Your imagination is not merely about numbers. It is about identity, atmosphere, and being. And do not let the present environment deceive you. Even if you are surrounded by limitation, you may remain inwardly free. Even if the world has not yet changed, you may already occupy the new state. This is the power of imagination. It transcends the evidence of the senses. Appearances are not final. They are only temporary reflections. Refuse to be moved by what has not yet caught up with what you have accepted inwardly. Symbols may help you. A phrase, a note, a visual reminder, a journal, a card that declares your identity, a scene you return to daily. These are not magic objects, but they can serve as anchors, keeping your mind aligned with the state you have chosen. Use them wisely, not as crutches, but as reminders of what you already know. The formula is simple, but it demands discipline. The moment you abandon your assumption, you delay the visible result. The moment you return to lack, you strengthen lack. So when doubt appears, do not make it welcome. Return at once to the scene of fulfillment. Replace the old feeling with the new. Continue until the new feeling becomes dominant, and then natural, and then permanent. Record your practice if it helps you. Write down the scenes you imagined. Note the feelings you cultivated. Observe the signs and synchronicities that appear. This will strengthen your faith and remind you that you are not guessing. You are practicing law. You are learning to create consciously. You are becoming aware of your own power. Use revision also. If a day contains fear, scarcity, or weakness, revise it before sleep. See it differently. Rewrite it inwardly. Imagine yourself responding with calm, abundance, and certainty. Revision is a powerful act because it changes the memory that feeds the subconscious. It takes the old impression and replaces it with the new. In this way, you begin to reshape the foundation of your future. And know this: to desire wealth is not selfish. It is a natural expression of your creative nature. Wealth, rightly understood, allows you to give more freely, serve more powerfully, and live more expansively. It is not merely for accumulation. It is for contribution, beauty, freedom, and possibility. When you become abundant inwardly and outwardly, you have more to share with the world. Therefore, accept your power. You are not waiting on life. Life is waiting on your assumption. Your imagination is the divine workshop. Your feeling is the breath of creation. Your consciousness is the soil from which your reality springs. Use it carefully. Use it deliberately. Use it in harmony with the desire you wish to live. You will begin to notice that you think differently, speak differently, and carry yourself differently. Confidence rises, peace deepens, a quiet authority enters your being. This is true wealth. This inner transformation is the real millionaire state, and the money is but its reflection. So continue daily. Imagine vividly, feel deeply, persist faithfully, act from fulfillment. Let gratitude rise, let doubt fall away. Let the assumption become your dwelling place. Your millionaire reality is already complete in the unseen. Your task is to live from it until the visible world has no choice but to reveal it. Trust the process. Trust the law. Trust the creative power within you. You are not separate from abundance. You are its source in your own world. The wealth you seek is not outside you, waiting to be earned by exhaustion. It is within you, waiting to be claimed by consciousness. The millionaire you desire is the self you have not yet fully accepted. Take that self now. Wear that identity now. Speak from that awareness now. Feel from that state now. And the world will answer. For the world must always, inevitably, faithfully mirror the assumption you hold. Now stand at the threshold of your new life and remember this above all. Wealth is not something to chase. It is something to become. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Saturate your imagination with the reality of success. Dwell in the certainty of abundance. Let the inner world become complete, and the outer world will follow without fail. Your million-dollar destiny is not a matter of if. It is already yours. Here. Now, this is Neville Lectures. I'll see you again in the next video.